The offensive side of the ball, we have 7 starters back, led by Colin. And Cap is, there's no question about it, he's a very special person. A terrific, great football player, but a special person. But the thing that I like that Cap has developed since last season, and he had it last season, he has now become, without question, the team leader on both sides of the ball. And I don't mean he's running in the defense and running the defense. I'm just saying because of their respect for him, of what he does on the field and how he does it, and because of his abilities to stand up and be accountable, you can see it and you can feel that he is the leader of that football team. And as you all know, and as most coaches can tell you, when you've got players that are not scared to lead on your football team, when you're out of that locker room, when you're gone, you got a chance to create some great competition, and that's what we ask our players to do. I think the area that there's no question what Cap has worked on the most, he's worked on his passing, on his touch, on his release, and so on and so forth. I'm expecting big things out of him in terms of that capacity. Will he have the year he had last year? Who knows? But that's not the point. The point is we know that he is a figure in our offense that's going to run the ball, and we're going to do some things with him. That's what the pistol's designed for. So the key to us, we feel, in our offense is the people surrounding him, and I'm talking about the skill, have to be productive.
Hey, Coach, Dave Southern with the Idaho Press Tribune. You talked about Cap growing as a leader, and he looks bigger, looks put on weight, stuff like that. How big has those things that might not really show up in the stats, that sort of off-season commitment, how big has that been for him and his growth as a person too?
Well, and that's a great question, because that's what I'm saying to you. The players see it. You know what I mean? I mean, you got guys that get that talk and so on and so forth, but they see it. I can tell you this. There aren't too many players with the work ethic, off-the-field work ethic, of Colin Kaepernick. And I'm not, I've tried to instill some of it, but I mean, it's him. I mean, it is. You don't have to say much to him. And what's happened, it's carried over to the other players. I mean, the effect of that. And if you're going to talk the game, you got to be able to walk it, and they know he can do that. And so I think that's added to his leadership qualities. But that, to me, will be the difference in our offense in terms of what we're doing is just his leadership qualities. I mean, the offense may be having struggles and not moving the ball, but behind you when he's talking to those guys, they're going to give him his eyes, and he's going to get their respect. And that's hard to get in Tebow. I mean, he's not in Tebow character, but I mean, that's what it's about. Is they just know somewhere along the line with him calling the signals, you got a chance.
Coach Chad from the Idaho Statesman in Boise. Can you talk a little bit about, you said you want to throw the ball more, a little about why you want to do that, and also what you've seen out of Cap this spring in terms of his improvement in that area? Well,
now, Chad, he missed all of spring football. We started spring football very early, 28th February, Chad? Yeah. Because we wanted to have spring conditioning. We had winter conditioning. Well, I wanted to have 2 conditioning periods. So Cap hurt his ankle in the Maryland game, the bowl game. It was a high ankle sprain. And just never healed 100% enough to go in spring football. Now, the negatives, he needed spring football to throw. That was going to be the focus for him. The positive was the 2 guys behind him got all the snaps, got all the experience, and we think in Tyler Landtrip we have a quality backup quarterback. That being said, Chad, Cap knew from the time the Maryland game ended that his priorities as a physical player was to work on his packing, his delivery, throwing the different types of balls that you got to throw in our offense. And we want to expand our passing game from the standpoint that we think because of Cap's running ability, our play-action pass will be much more respected. And so in order to try to take advantage of it, I think the best way for us to do is through the passing game. And, it's interesting. He's got probably one of the strongest arms in the country. I mean that ball can fly and get the mustard on it, and those are tough balls to catch. So he's really been conscious of that this summer and the end of last spring to become a more efficient quarterback.
Coach, every time it comes up, all WAC team last year, us trying to figure out the WAC Offensive Player of the Year this year, it kind of comes down to Kaepernick and Kellen Moore, and they're obviously 2 completely different kind of quarterbacks. How do you look at those 2 guys and figure out who's more valuable or who's a better player in this league?
Pretty good choice. I mean, You know, Chad, you look at Kellen and you see what he does, and you know, the beauty of what I think they've done. They've taken his talents and his expertise and his pocket efficiency, and they've put that to their offense. I mean, they're using him and the best of his abilities to make that offense go, which is remarkable. But we're trying to do the same thing with Cap. A little bit different feature, you know, in terms of what we do with Cap, but it's the same thing. And you know, who's the most valuable in the conference? I mean, that I couldn't tell you. I think it's just who's the most valuable in the offensive scheme of what you're trying to do, and if they can execute it. But those, you know, you're talking night and day, and that's a great comparison of looking at two quarterbacks that are very special in their offenses and make it go.